Hello. We are going to the Bowl of Embers Extreme. I believe this is going to be a synced run, not necessarily minimum eye level, just like the other ones I did. I think I probably teamed up with this group to do a bunch of fights or something, but we did them synced, and that first swipe right there, that's a tank thing, so make sure the tank is always pointing the boss forward or north, pointing north. And then everyone else hangs out back here, so you don't get swiped with the cone. Okay, Vulcan Burst, saw that. You're within radius of Ifrit, you get knocked back. That was also in the Ultima fight. Let me see. Circle around Ifrit, got knocked back. Okay, the swipes. Inferno Howl. If it will, like, we'll see. This is the front of the hitbox. And there's these little markers that show the sides. But if it will turn and target a person, here it's targeting the healer. And this will give them this searing wind thing. And if they have searing wind, then every now and then the searing wind will explode around the person that has it. And then this other one that we have seen in the normal fight, hard version, is the eruptions. Okay, these little eruption things, they go underneath people and you need to just run out and dodge them. Okay. Oh, I highlighted this. Searing wind, ignited by white hot embers and scorching those nearby, sustaining fire damage over time. Okay, so this healer, CC, has searing wind debuff, and they will explode. Okay, so right now the eruptions are exploding. Okay, but if you watch CC over here, you might see that every now and then they'll explode. I'm just looking at CC right now. Okay, there's a bit going on. Let's go back. I'll catch the explosion and I'll point it out what it looks like. But essentially, you don't want to be anywhere near the person that has searing wind, and it's gonna target a healer. Well, it just exploded there, but we'll see it again later. But these eruptions, okay, these are the ones that go underneath people. You just keep running, spread out away from them. And then we've got these infernal nails that will drop everywhere. Okay. The thing with the infernal nails in the extreme version is that when you destroy them, they will do a raid wipe. Okay, and also if it just turned around and threw fire, the searing wind thing, at the other healer, ST, so now both of them have searing wind, okay? So there's a bit of strategy in how you handle this, but essentially the mechanic itself is that the healers will get targeted with searing wind, and they need to park themselves somewhere, or other people need to get away from them. And while that's happening, we got these infernal nails we gotta deal with. Okay, so that blast right there was actually from this healer. They blew up and I got knocked back from this blast. Okay, that other explosion that just happened was from this healer over here. Okay, and so we're taking these down. Explosion. Okay, there's the explosion from the healers, and then there's the explosion from the nails themselves. So Infernal Surge, I believe that is from... Okay, so this one just blew up. RL, did you get that? Let me see. This one's about to blow up, so let's see. I have 2 vulnerability stacks. When I destroy this... Okay, so when I destroy this, I get hit with that, and I also get a vulnerability up. Okay. And then... Let's see what happens when we get hit with the healer stuff. So ST right here. Oh, they lost their thing. Okay. We'll see it again. But now let's go back and see why the other tank died. Okay, so there is a thing here, and it doesn't seem like they moved, and it seems like, yeah, it seems like they just stood in that. It's fine. Here, the tank buster here, Incinerate, is gonna do like a cone of fire breath, okay? And if you get hit with that, you will get this debuff called Suppuration, and Suppuration will mean you have lower like maximum health and some other stuff. So that can be debilitating, especially if you've also got like vulnerability stacks and stuff. See, the vulnerability stacks actually, okay, when the nails explode, it's when we get hit with it. Okay, so I didn't have any at this point. Okay, so the explosion from the healers themselves doesn't give us a vulnerability stack, but the nails do, okay? And then also we got eruption from up here going up on over by the tanks. So when we get hit with one of these nails, we get a small vulnerability up. It only lasts 3 seconds though, but if you destroy another nail, like see, mine didn't go away. I destroyed my nail over here before my debuff went off, and I got hit with it, and so I got 2 stacks and it re-up, okay? And so, and then we got hit with this one, and so now I got 3, and I didn't lose that, and so now I'm more susceptible to damage because I've got more of these vulnerability stacks. And then we did the 4th one, and yeah, so there is a bit of a strategy in this. You want to wait until your debuffs go away and then do the next nail. This will be more detrimental if you're doing this minimum eye level where you don't have as much health. But here we managed to deal with it fine. We had enough heals for it to be fine. We lost the tank, but that's okay. Okay, Infernal Howl thingy. Okay, so the healer has Searing Wind again. Okay, this one. Is that really the cast name? Infernal Howl? For some reason I thought it was called something else. Yeah, I mean, it seemed like that's what it was. Because it turned and then it was casting that, right? Yeah. Okay. In any case, with the healer having that, you want to keep the healer away from everybody. So, okay, see, did you see that? Explosion. That's what I mean. The healer will explode. So you want to stay away from them. RL was in there, and they lost like almost half their health. They took almost 3k of damage by being near the healer. The healer themselves, the people who are exploding, they're like, okay, they're not gonna get hit with that thing, but anybody else near them is gonna get hit. Also, the tank here has 4 stacks of Suppuration. Maximum HP is reduced and damage taken is increased, and so typically you'd want to do a tank swap if you've got a lot of stacks of things that increase your damage. intake. But the other tank just came back up, and so I'm sure they'll sort that out. Okay, eruption, the little things underneath certain people, so make sure to dodge out of those. Okay, that healer is still exploding. If it goes away, we're in the next phase now. So, Hellfire, we've got this big raid wipe. Okay, and then remember there's swipes going on in the front there, so pick whatever side you want to go, typically north, and point Ifrit that way so that everyone else can like get away from the front. At this point we've got infernal nails all around the stage, and this will require a bit of coordination again. Okay, try not to run in front of Ifrit if you don't need to, or else you get this separation stuff from the tank buster. There is a tether here, and that is a situation where you will have to also handle. And again, if one of the nails breaks, it does a raid wipe, okay? And so you don't want to be doing all these all at once. You want to stagger them. But let's talk about this chain here. This person, one person will be chained to one of the tanks, typically the off tank. Okay, so this person EA has this thing. It has an 8 on there. You can't see it over here, but this one also likely has an 8. The further away the person is from the chained person, the higher the debuff number is. The closer they get to the person they're chained to, the lower the number goes. So you can see that it is decreasing right here. Right here. So sometimes chains means get away from each other, and sometimes chains means you gotta stay close to each other. In this instance, in this fight, when you see the chain, you need to stay near your partner. Okay, and so now they're buddied up. So now it's 1 instead of before when they first got it. It was 8. Okay, and take a look at what that does. I believe it it's a whole load of stuff that it does. Let's watch this. While we repeat the thing, I will get exactly what it's called. But yeah, again, if you explode the nails too quickly, it might be difficult for the healers to keep up the heals. So you have to kind of coordinate all of that. And then also watch out for wherever if it's pointing forward. Okay, and then here we got chains again, but then the nail thing exploded as the thing. Oh wait, do we also have the healer there who's exploding? Yeah. Yeah, so the nails exploded, we got chains up, and then the healer got got the searing wind thing, and so they explode and then kill these people, and this person ends up taking a bit of a hit. And then because the person who they were tethered to before died, I got tethered to them. And I'm running away because I didn't know how to do the mechanic, but you can see the further I run, the higher the number is. Okay, a prison of fire is reducing damage dealt and inflicting fire damage over time. Yeah, okay, well that from the thingy I read, it sounded like it was more than that. Let's see. Increases damage taken, deals damage over time, decreases damage done for its duration. Yeah, so basically what this says, but then also increases your damage taken. So it's a lot of stuff, and so you want to stand closer to each other. But I didn't know that, and so I was trying to run away to break it. Okay, and also trying to like figure out, yeah, this person's dying, or this person's exploding. Okay, so see, when they got a little closer to me, my number got smaller. So I think they were getting closer to me to like try to let me know to stay closer, but I was not understanding. And then, okay, yeah, I got hit with the explosion from the healer. And so it knocked me back a little bit. Okay, so they got Searing Wind again. And then they explode. And then I got hit with that. Hellfire's raid wide. Okay, so I'm like, okay, definitely I'm staying away from this healer. I'm gonna try to focus here. During Radiant Plume, we've got a bunch of like circle AoEs all over the place, but there will be 2 safe spots. So you want to find your safe spot and go to that. While also being careful of not being in front of Ifrit, okay? And then while that's also happening, Ifrit is still throwing out the searing stuff on the healer. So they'll keep exploding. There's only one healer up right now, and so it's always going to that one. But it'll like alternate. Oh, hello. Okay, so now we're in this another phase where we have a bunch of other nails to deal with. But we'll reset momentarily, and then like once the healer dies. Okay, let's go. Let's go again. Okay, so you're too close to Ifrit at the beginning. Oh wait, let's go from here. Okay, so tank goes in first, gets a swipe, and then turns the boss around. Everyone else, you can kind of pre-position so you don't get hit with that first like knockback. But if you're melee, it might be hard. But yeah, Inferno Howl, a healer gets Searing Wind, so they want to stand off to the side. And then Eruption will go underneath random people, so you want to run and get away from your own explosions and stuff. We're gonna take the nails down. Now we have 2 healers with Searing Wind, and so there's one healer here, one healer over here. And like, if you don't position yourself well, you can get hit with like all of them, and you just keep getting knocked backwards. And so this healer happened to be moving around a lot, and so some of us end up dying because they're running around with their explosion. So that was something we had to discuss. I think we reset. Do we reset, or is it the same one? Where is this? Oh, okay, we did just... Okay. This was actually part of the other phase, an earlier phase, but I think with these older fights, especially if you're not doing it minimum eye level, if you're doing it synced, there's still the chance that you can skip some mechanics if you get the boss to a certain percentage. And so I thought this was in a later part of the fight, but it seems like it's a little bit earlier too. But yeah, so that one we had 2 safe spots to go to, the Radiant Plume. So there's one over here and there's one back here. So make sure you run into the safe spot for that. Okay, and now we've got these nails in a circle along the side. Chains stay close together. Healer just got the Searing Wind, if it just threw it at them. This person died because the healer exploded near them. Okay. And then I just destroyed one nail, and that did a raid wide. And they destroyed the nails over there. And yeah, Okay, the healer exploded. I think that's why this person died. I've got a chain, so I'm getting closer to the person. And we're here. I don't really have good heals right now, and so there's a chance I might die. Okay, I'm doing okay. Okay, well, I die at that one. Yeah. So it's a bit of a struggle. The thing with doing a Realm Reborn extremes, especially in Party Finder, is that like sprouts are so good at not giving up sometimes. It's like even though the party's almost or already pretty much dead, they just keep doing the raises, and that I appreciate the enthusiasm to keep going, you know? However, at some point you will recognize that it is more beneficial to wipe the party to restart than to keep continuing. And that is something that takes experience to know when to just wipe. Because you don't want to grief the party. And by grief the party, that means, like, you know, make them sad. like ruining the run just because you die on purpose. Like sometimes there are times where you do want to die on purpose, like run out of the arena or get hit with certain things just to start over. And usually it's if both healers are dead, there's no more raises, or various things. Okay, well, I'll talk about that later if I remember. Let's go. Okay, turn the boss forward. I decided to stay back here just so then I didn't get pushed back anymore. So, it's little things. Okay, Infernal Howl is targeting one of the healers. They got Searing Wind. See, they kept kind of running around. And that was making it a little bit harder for us. And so, we were communicating in the chat to be like, oh yeah, just stay in one spot if you have that. So we don't get anywhere near you. We're dealing with the nails. Okay. Okay, also the fire breath, the incinerate thing is, remember the tank stuff, it's doing a cleave and also giving separation, and so once you get a good amount of stacks you want to do tank swaps so the other person doesn't die. Okay, Infernal Howl, the healer's getting their Searing Wind thing, so stay away from them because they're exploding. Okay, phase change. During some of the phase changes, when Ifrit's doing the Hellfire, there's this invincibility thingy, so you can't really attack, it doesn't do any damage. So don't waste your burst moves on it, like your big moves and stuff, it won't do anything. Okay, next phase, remember don't stand in the front with the tanks. Okay, we're taking down the nails. I think we were trying to coordinate like which nails to go down, so it's all like one at a time. Because there's an issue if like people are doing it like there are some of us going on this side and some people going on that side, and it just means that, you know, people can die from like too much damage. But also, wait, did RL die because they had the tether? Okay, so they had the tether, and so they're a little bit too far away from their tethered partner. And so because they had 3 stacks of that, they were more vulnerable in general. Plus, all the vulnerability ups we're getting from the nail explosions. So, with the chain, make sure you're standing close to your partner, and then also, as a team, it would be better to stagger out the nail destruction, but it can take some time to get that coordinated. Because again, with newer people doing raiding for the first time, you might find that it's a lot of information to take in, and like logically it might make sense, but in theory the fight might be happening so fast it's hard to like put it all together. And so some people learn by just dying to certain mechanics over and over, so you'll have to be patient with that. Okay, this one, remember there's one on this side, one on this side. They're always going to be opposite sides of each other, like in a line. Okay. Alright, we have the healer with the searing wind again, so stay away from that one. Okay, so now in this configuration we want to take apart the middle nail first. And do we have chains out? Yeah, we got a chain. The chained people are there, so stay close. Main tank still needs to point the boss away though, because the boss is doing swipes, and if everybody is in here, in the middle here, and if it's doing swipes and this separation with them, then look at how much separate people are getting hit with all of this stuff. Okay, so it's important for the main tank to always be pointing the boss away from everybody else. Your job as the main tank is to keep everybody else safe, so it's not good that the boss is attacking everyone else. Okay, at this point I think both tanks were kind of confused and doing all sorts of things, and it was like I was getting tossed everywhere from explosions from the healers, trying to get close to my chain partner. It was the whole thing. It's fine. Okay, I was disoriented and I tried to attack a thing, and then I forgot that I raised where the healer was at, but that healer happened to have the searing wind, and so I died from their explosion thing. Okay. And then this thing that happens under the healer, that is the eruption. There's a telegraph. See this one? That's the eruption one where you can dodge out of it. You have enough time to run out of it. But then, you know, there's the chain to deal with, and it's just tricky business, especially when people start dying a lot. Because, like, if the healer has a chain, but the healer also has the searing wind, you don't really want to be that close to them. So it can turn into a hot mess. Okay, and so when you're running this, don't be too hard on yourself. There is a ramp up in mechanics in this fight. Like, if you're starting from the beginning, like, it's okay. And also you'll be running it with other people who are probably still new to raids, and so it will take people time to know what to do and all this stuff. So this is what you can kind of expect. So in the chat at this point, I'm kind of explaining the mechanics and explaining, oh, we could do this and that. We do have the echo, and so it will get a little bit easier. Maximum health and damage has been increased, and so with the fight getting a little bit easier with the 15% bonus of stuff, that's to help people, you know, clear the fight. But if you want to do the mechanics and learn the actual mechanics and do, like, figure out your strategy for stuff and really emphasize teamwork for things, that's where most people will do the minimum eye level, no echo type of fights in the settings and stuff. Okay, let's move on ahead because we're chatting a lot. This way. Ooh, look at that. I was just right on the edge. So, Vulcan Burst, be a hit from near the boss. And then this one is the Searing Wind one, the Infernal Howl. Eruption, or get out of our own AoEs that drop under us. Try to stay away from the healer that's gonna explode though. Okay, nails are up. I start marking them just to keep things a bit more organized. Okay. Like, this first set of nails isn't too bad, but when Ifrit is following the main tank, then it can be kind of tricky because of the tank swipe. So again, you want to keep Ifrit in the front. Like, the main tank almost never has to deal with ads. Like, in some situations, like if the boss is still around, you might not, like, you generally don't want to be moving the boss around. But if, like, it's different if the boss goes away and then there's ads, then yeah, main tank will pick up some ads. But like, if the boss is still here, like, the main tank needs to just stay there and everyone else goes to take care of the stuff, you know? Or else we get the situation where other people are gonna get hit with the tank stuff and then they can die because they're not tanks. They can't take the damage. And so, yeah, so we got a bit of a situation going on here. Okay, like, I was trying to stay away from it, but then eventually they walked around over here, so that's why I almost died. So I got, this is the tank stuff, incinerate, and then you get the separation thing, which is a decreased amount of healing stuff, maximum healing, and other things. Okay, but we're situated, we're fine. We got a few people that got hit with the tank stuff, but it's okay. We got the echo, it's okay. Hellfire, boss is currently invincible, so things won't do any damage. Hellfire's gonna be the raid wide. Okay, so they couldn't last through the raid wide. Okay, so here we've got this healer still has Searing Wind, so be careful with that. We've got the nails on the outside. I tried to coordinate people by getting us all to attack the nails in an orderly fashion. It looks like people are all over here, but at least some people were going with me. Okay, the chained people try to stay together. Okay, one here. RL is over here, they die over here. Okay, they're changed now, so they're trying to stay together. Fortunately, I'm a range player, and so I was able to try to stay behind the boss, but still attack stuff. So I was like, alright, I'm just gonna do my thing over here. They were moving the boss across the stage, and so the most efficient way, really, from what I can see, is you would all start at a certain place and you go clockwise to destroy the nails, and then the tanks and the healers would also move clockwise. You know what I'm saying? I'll explain it afterwards. But by moving in a uniform way, we can handle all the mechanics. But here we have a raid wide. Okay, Radiant Plume. So, radiant, as in like circles everywhere. We got a safe spot here and here. Infernal Howl, we've got the Searing Wind Explosion healer. So stay away from that healer. We got the Infernal Nails again, so we're gonna attack the middle one first. Chained players stay together. The other healer also has Infernal Nails. Sorry, not Infernal Nails. Infernal Howl, so they have the Searing Wind thing. And see here, I am trying to coordinate this. I ended up dying because I had this separation thing on me. And then by destroying the nails... Oh, no. I got hit with Searing Wind. The explosion on the healer. I was too close to the healer. And then I got hit with the nail that exploded, so I died. But it's fine. Because for the remainder of the fight, I think I just started marking all the nails so people would attack them in order. Which is also beneficial for the team, okay? But yeah, see, so now we're all kind of, well, we're trying to work in order so that they explode one by one. And by doing it one by one, it means we're not getting multiple hits. And it gives enough time. See those vulnerability ups? They go away. Okay, so when it explodes, look, we got vulnerability up, vulnerability up, vulnerability up, all this stuff, right? But by slowly going nail by nail, there's enough time for those vulnerability ups to go away. So that's what I'm saying. By doing this in a coordinated effort, we are able to kind of minimize the amount of damage people are taking because the vulnerability up had time to go away. There weren't as many raid whites going off because of too many nails exploding at the same time. We got the tank rotating clockwise as people are attacking the nails clockwise, and we also got the healers who were supposed to also be rotating clockwise. That's what I was talking about before. Ideally, the healer would stay away from everybody, and the tank would also stay away from everybody. So then people can just focus on taking care of the nails and not worry about where the boss is or worry about where the healer is. But again, usually people who run this are going to be a bit more new and fresh, and so it takes a bit to like understand and remember how to coordinate things. Okay, Hellfire is a raid hood. Okay, still doing tank stuffs up there. Radiant Plume, make sure to go to a safe spot on the sides. Infernal Howls is Searing Wind thing again. Okay, so... Oh, wait, sorry. Let me let you watch the cutscene. Okay, like I said though, this is a synced fight, and so we skipped a handful of mechanics. Like there's the mechanic where there's like 3 ifrits that go across the stage and stuff that you have to dodge. And for that you would stand to the left side of the ifrits. I will post the unsynced run I did almost a year ago or so, where I kind of went over that, so that you can see what that mechanic looks like if you're gonna do this minimum eye level. And I think I go through a few other things probably. But this is what a synced run seems to be like these days. Like we saw a decent amount of mechanics here. But yeah, so during the part where I was dead here, so ideally, the idea is, okay, this is south. This is south over here, and this is north. Let's say that, okay? Let's say this is west, this is east. Main tank will be north, and then the healer, let's say the healer over here has the Searing Wind, they stay west shore. Everyone else starts south, and they're attacking these nails, and then as the people over here rotate to here, then the healer here rotates to here, and then the tank here rotates to down here, you know what I'm saying? And so you're rotating all at the same time, so then when the healer explodes, these people over here are still fine. And then up over here, when Ifrit cleaves, there's nobody over here, so they have enough space, the tank has enough space to work. And then over time, you know, like once DPS are done with this, then we move over, DPS take care of these nails, whatever, and then the healer moves over here, and then the tank moves over here in the clear spot. So you're rotating all together so that people can stay away from the healer explosion and or stay away from any tank cleaves. So that is a strategy that you can use. There's so many different ways you can handle mechanics. but that is one way you can do it, and I think it works out pretty well. Typically with the chains, usually the off tank is chained to the person if they're still alive, and so the off tank can go run with the people dealing with the nails, and then if the main tank dies, whichever, then they can go take the boss. But yeah, it runs the issue of like if the DPS that's tethered to the off tank is far away and they have a higher amount of stacks of this stuff, then it would decrease the amount of damage they do, which will decrease the amount of damage done on the nails, and it could take longer to take care of the nails, and then we might fail the mechanic. So that's why it's kind of better for the tank, the off tank, to go closer to the DPS and DPS the nails with them. But you know, whatever strategy you want to use in your party is your own thing. Like, that's something that you'd have to just talk to everyone else about. What else in here? Yeah, again, try not to point the boss towards everybody else. As this is an A Realm Reborn fight, it's very old, and you can technically use Duty Finder to queue for it, but it will take a long time to queue for it there. The only people who can join the Duty Finder for any extreme fights is going to be mentors, and so they might not be too happy about having to do an extreme. It's just the way it is, and a lot of people don't like that system. Like, there's a good chance a mentor might leave immediately because they don't want to do that, or they might be like, hey, just use Party Finder, and then you have to go figure out what Party Finder is. Or they'll be there and kind of explain stuff but be upset, or you might get a really good mentor who's like, yeah, let's do this, let me teach you guys. It's just that it takes a bit of an investment in time to be able to clear one of these things, especially if most of the party is new and learning this stuff. So your best bet, if you want to do these older fights like Synced or minimum eye level, is to use Party Finder. And I made a whole rating foundation thing on how to set up Party Finder stuff and all that stuff. Okay, so A Realm Reborn extremes, use Party Finder. Okay, and even in this fight, you can see how it's getting progressively more challenging. Like, if you watched my last 2-3 videos, like, they were somewhat difficult mechanics to handle, but they kind of build on top of each other. And so this Ifrit fight is building on top of other things you've likely already learned, like checking debuffs and stuff, dodging certain AoEs, things like that. You know, just little things that once you become experienced, you won't even really register as like something you had to learn, which is why more experienced people might be like, why don't you understand this? Well, it's because they already learned it like way back when. And yeah, and so, but if you put yourself through learning all of the older fights, it does build on each other, even subconsciously. It would be nice if you could consciously understand, oh, if I stand in this mechanic like this or like this, then this happens. Okay, wow, this fight is doing it like that other fight did. Like, if you can mentally understand how they relate to each other, that's even better. But even if you can't do that, by doing the fights in order, it does stack on top of each other. I'm just rambling. I'm just repeating myself now. You don't have to do the fights in order. There's no saying that you have to or anything, but because I recently did the fights so that I could get footage for all this stuff, I am realizing, oh wow, yeah, actually a lot of the mechanics I'm learning in these A Realm Reborn fights are in the ultimate fight that I did that one time, and I was like, man, what are all these like buffs and debuffs and whatever, and then and I went to an ultimate to discover mechanics that was in the game since around Reborn Extreme, right? And so I was like, oh, okay, I can do this extreme now because I did this part in the ultimate fight that I did. So I'm saying, if you need to take your time to like learn certain things, then take the time that you need and know that it is beneficial in the long run. I feel like I was going to say something else, but I totally forgot because ADHD. But yes, I hope that was helpful. I will be continuing to make more extreme fight video things, and I'll add the link to the other one that shows the crisscross, the Ifrits like sitting on the sides and then they cross and stuff. I don't think we saw that in this run at all because we skipped mechanics. So yeah, okay, bye.